Hey everyone, it's Karen with the Yes Please PaperCrafts, and in this video I'm going to be creating a scrapbook layout for Simple Stories Saturdays, which is the scrapbooking collaboration and YouTube hop hosted by my friend 𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗃, and we have a bunch of other scrappy YouTubers that join us each month, and we create projects using Simple Stories collections. And Simple Stories is one of my favorite manufacturers for scrapbooking. I love all of their collections, especially the vintage ones. And I was really happy to see that they had a whole bunch of Simple Stories stuff in the Tuesday mornings when I went there just recently. So I have a Tuesday mornings haul that I'm going to be posting on my YouTube channel. I thought I would have it up already before this video gets posted, but I think it's probably going to come like maybe the day after. So look for that. But I did find page kits there from Simple Stories. I have never purchased any of these before, but I did see this being used by Joanne in her videos, and I wanted to give it a try. So I'll just show you. I have a couple of them here, so let me go ahead and show you the different ones that we have. So I have the simple, let's see, this is Oh What Fun. This is Simple Stories page kit, and it's Christmas themed. And one of the things that's really cool about it is you get everything that you need to create 2 double page layouts. And I just want to open this up and just show y'all how it actually is kind of in here, because you do have to spend a little bit of time of getting it prepared. And so one of the things that you get is embellishments, but you do have to go through and punch all of the embellishments out. So it comes like this. It's all perforated. And so you just have to spend a little bit of time and be really careful punching out everything. And so I took a little bit of time up front to do that with the collection that I'm going to be using. So I just wanted to show you though that it comes like that, and you do have to spend a little bit of time taking it apart so that you can get ready to be used. And so I'll show you, this is what's left over after I spent a little time punching it out. And so I just went over, sat on my living room couch and put something on my TV and did that while I was watching TV. So it wasn't too hard to do. It just took a little bit of time, and you just have to be careful that you don't tear it. Now the only other disadvantage to having this is that you do get these little paper, I don't know what you call these, it's just like little places where it was attached to the paper. And if you mind that, you can just take a pair of scissors. If it's bugging you, just take a pair of scissors and go around, and you can just cut all those off. Another thing that you can do is take a fingernail file and just file that down. And I might do that on whatever embellishments I'm going to use for the layout that I'm doing today. And so that's probably the only negatives that I see with using the page kits. And as I was going through and looking at the instructions, I thought that one of the things that was interesting was that I mostly do layouts with one photo because I find that easier to work with. Because if I just have one photo or 2 photos, it's not very difficult to try to figure out a layout for, you know, just 1 or 2 pictures. But in this case, they actually have a ton of pictures on these layouts. And so if you're looking for scrapbooking layouts where you're able to use a lot of pictures, I think that these page kits are really cool. And then the other thing I like about it is it's really quick and easy if you want to follow along and do it exactly as they had it designed. I think this is going to go together really quickly. And you can always embellish it a little bit more by bringing in other things from your craft room, which is one of the things I'm planning to do with my layout. Okay, and I'll just show you the other page kit I found there was this one, which was You and Me. And I thought this was really cute. So I have those 3 page kits. And I thought the price of this is $6.99, and it makes 4 layouts. And I think the retail price is $15.99. Okay, so I'm going to set up this over here. Now this is the one I decided to work with. I think one of the challenges too was to find pictures that would fit this layout and fit the theme of the layout, which is Christmas, and also the colors. And so I immediately thought of pictures that I had taken a few years ago at Christmas, where I had my 2 dogs, Bella and Lilybell, dressed up in pink sweaters. And so I went through my pictures on my computer, and I was able to find a bunch of pictures that I could use. And so if you look at the instructions, they have everything that you need here. It tells you exactly what to do in order to create the layout. And there's this layout here, which has 1 4x6 picture. It has 4 3x4 pictures and then 2 4x4 pictures. And on the opposite side, you have this one here, which has 3 landscape pictures, which are 4x6, I think. And then it has this picture here, and this one here is a square, and this, I think this is a 3x4 and a 4x4. I didn't actually look at this one too closely because I knew most of my pictures were portrait and not landscape. And so I decided to go ahead and use this one because all of these pictures are portrait, and then these two didn't really matter because it's a square. So I was able to crop the pictures and then print them out, make them the size that I needed. And so these are all the pictures that I have, and look how adorable my girls look in their little pink outfits. I love those pink sweaters with it's got like a fur collar. And so these are the pictures that I'm going to use for this layout. All right, now I think one of the other challenges, I guess, too, was trying to find pictures that would fit all of this. And so if you have a lot of pictures to choose from, that shouldn't be too difficult. But these are the pictures I'm going to be working with. So I think it's really cool too that they give you step-by-step instructions for how to build the layouts. And if you're a beginner scrapbooker, I think this would be a really good way to see if this is something that you would enjoy doing, because you could just buy this page kit and some adhesive and you'd be good to go to be able to create some layouts without having to spend a lot of money on other supplies like punches and dies and different things like that. Because you'll have everything you need. You even have the border strips and photo mats and things like that. So let's take a look at all of the pieces here. So you get these 2 papers here, which are very, let's see, no, there's 4 papers here. There's 2 for the one layout and 2 for the other. So let me see, which one do I need to pull? Okay, so the layout that I'm going to do is the one with the Christmas trees in the background and then the green paper here. And then the other 2 papers are for the other double page spread. So I'm going to pull out these 2 papers right here. This is going to be what I'm going to work with. And then I'll have these 2 papers to create the other 2 pages once I get around to doing that one. I'll have to figure out what pictures I'll use for those. Okay, so here's my papers, and we're going to just spread this out here. And then you see you have also some chipboard. This is a really lightweight chipboard, and I didn't punch this out. It looks like this is not stickers. It's something you would need to punch out. So I might need to spend some time doing that. But to punch this out, you really just need to carefully press on all the different places and make sure that you don't tear or break anything. That's, kind of the biggest challenge, I think, here. So you can see it pops out really easily. So we have these little shapes, and it's not really a true chipboard. It's not a cardstock sticker. It's kind of somewhere in between. It's a really lightweight chipboard. Okay, so we have all those, but it does give a little bit more dimension, which I think is pretty cool. So I'll have to go through and punch all this out. They do give you a lot of embellishments. Now, one of the other things that I found when I was at Tuesday morning was this washi tape that's from the Feelin Frosty collection. And I also found some ephemera that was from this collection, which is right here. So I have this ephemera, which is Feelin Frosty, and then this one here, which is the washi tape. So even if you're using page kits like this, you can still bring in additional elements if you want to change things up. And I thought it was interesting because this page kit is called Winter Days. But I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same collection as Feelin Frosty. So I don't know if this is still the Feelin Frosty collection that was, and the page kit is called Winter Days, or if they just have this collection that's an older collection that was renamed, because I've seen them do that before. But anyway, if you see this Winter Days, it also matches exactly the Feelin Frosty. And I'm 100% sure that that's the case. But because if I look at all of these pieces that I punched out of this page kit, they're identical. Some of them are identical to what's in this ephemera. So I'm going to show you here. You can see that it's identical to what's in this one. They have exactly the same flowers, exactly the same colors. And so it is the same collection, or at least it coordinates really well. Okay, so I have this, and I'm not going to keep this in a separate place. I'm just going to take all this out. So I have this here, and I have this tray that came from the Dollar Tree. This is the Essentials Organizer. It's just a 3-tray compartment, and I like to use this when I have something I'm working with, or I have a lot of little pieces. You can just throw those in there and then have them available so that you can look through them while you're working on your layout. And then I also brought in a couple other things that were not part of Simple Stories, but in this hop, we are mostly supposed to be using Simple Stories collections, but we're allowed to bring in other embellishments and things like flare buttons, and I also brought in these bows. So these bows come from the Fun Stamper's Journey, which is from Spellbinders, and it's just these little 6 bows. I thought it would be cute to maybe pull in something like that. And then I have these flare buttons, and the flare buttons, these are part of my new December release. And I have all of the buttons for the December release in the store now. So if you would like any of these buttons, you can go over to my button shop, which is 𝗬𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃.com/shop. I'll put a link to my store up here in the description, and you can just go ahead and you can find these buttons there. Now this Pink Merry Christmas was one from a couple of years ago. That one is still available, and I pulled that one and made that one just because I thought it would work really well with this collection. So I might use one or more flare buttons on this layout as well. And I think it's really fun to use things that are more three-dimensional, which is why I decided to bring in the flare buttons and the bows. Just because this layout is going to be fairly flat, and I'm going to show y'all when you look at the background paper. Normally when you would create a layout and you're creating this background, you would have 3 sheets of paper here. You would have this pink paper with the trees, and then a white cardstock, and then the green paper with the snowflakes. But this is all just one piece of paper. It's a really heavy piece of paper, but it's not dimensional at all. It's just printed to look that way. Okay, and then we have all of these pieces here. They have some border strips and banners, and then there's also some photo mats and journaling spots and just different things like that. So I think what I'm going to do at this point is to go through all of this and try to figure out what belongs to this double page layout and separate it out, and then I'll come back and we'll put it together. Okay, so I went through everything and pulled out anything that I saw that was part of the other layout or the other double page spread, just to make sure that I have those pieces available when I go to create this 2-page layout. And then they did have some extra pieces, so you get more than what you need for this project. So you could probably change up some of the embellishments if you'd like to do that. And let me just show y'all some of the extra things that they gave that were not shown in the picture. So this was the pictures of the 2 layouts that were created. And these were some of the additional items that were not pictured, so that you have available if you want to further embellish. They have some little Christmas trees, there's some mittens, there's a teddy bear, coffee cup, a mug, also another snowman, a little house, a snow globe, a pair of skates, and then this basket with the wood and the little truck. So all of those were extra. Plus they have all of these floral pieces here that are also not shown in the pictures. So you can actually use these as well to embellish. And if you decide that you don't want to use those, you can just use them on another project. And then there was also a ton of these chipboard snowflakes, and also some of the paper snowflakes as well. And I think there's way more in here than what was shown. So you have all of those extra ones to use as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and lay this out to see what it's going to look like. And I did take a quick look at the washi tape. This was the washi tape that's included with the Feelin Frosty that I picked up from Tuesday morning as well. And I was looking at this and I thought it would be kind of cool to use the washi tape just to kind of, you know, give a little bit more texture, a different texture to the layout, as well as just to use it because it's fun. So I was looking at this thinking about where I could put it. And I think what might be fun is just to put like a strip of washi tape right down here at the bottom. It would pull in a little bit more of the black. There is this quote right here that says "Winter Days," and I thought maybe I could pull that in over here. There's a little bit of an empty space. I could start it out with "Snow Day," and wouldn't this look cute if I just did that right there at the bottom? So I think I might go ahead and do that if there's enough space. I think I'm going to lay everything out first, and then I'll try the washi tape there. But here are all the different pieces. And let's take a look at the instructions. And oh, there was an extra piece here. This was an extra border. And I didn't see this border strip anywhere either. So I think this is just an extra piece that was in the kit. Okay, so it says here that we need to place the background sheets on your workspace and then add the 12-inch plaid strip a 1/2 inch from the bottom edge of the printed teal. So we have these strips right here. These are going to go across like so. This one goes all the way across the page, and then this one goes part way. So it would be something like that. And actually, I think that this may be cut in two because I see part of it is here and then the other part is up here. So I think that you could follow this exactly, or you could just do your own thing and just make it different. So we'll do that. We'll put that there, and then we have this pennant strips. Those we're going to go on next. So I have the larger one that's going to go on the top here. And then we have this one here, which is like a banner that's going to come across. And then I have this longer one that's over here. And then we have this one that kind of overlaps that one. And it's going to come down a little bit more, I think. So it's a lot of fun to put stuff like this together and not have to think too much about the designs. You just have to measure, I guess, and add it to your page. Okay, and then the photo mat right here is going to go like this. And then we need our pictures. Let's see, what do I do with the pictures? Oh, here, they're over here. Okay, so I have pictures here. I think I'm going to go with, let's see, the 4x4 pictures is this one here and this one. And then for these, I have, let's see. I haven't decided exactly how I was going to do this, but let's just try this out. And I think maybe something like that would be cute. I did print this one out first, thinking I was going to put that one as the main picture. But I think I would rather have a larger picture of the two of my dogs together like that. So I think I'll just save this one for another page. Okay, and isn't that funny? You just have all of that. Now, one of the things that I like to do is to put white cardstock mats under my photos. So I might actually do that because I would prefer to have that than to just have it be plain. And it looks like I need to cut this here and make it a little bit smaller than this one. So I can take this as a guide and just, where did I do it with my scissors? And it's going to be slightly smaller. So I could just do something like that. And we'll have that, I think I did that right. Okay. And then this one is going to go up here at the top. Okay, and you can see that we have space for the title over here. So our title is going to be Hello Snow. I might pop this up with some foam tape. I think that would be really cool. So yeah, I think I'm going to mat this with a really thin, like 1/8 inch border of white cardstock, and then I will pop this title up with some foam tape and make that pop off the page a little bit more. And then we have the Christmas tree over here. There's a hat. Let's see. There's this here, which is going to go underneath. If you can hear snoring in the background, that's Bella. Bella's having a snooze back there. She's having a little nap. Okay, then this is going to go over here. And we have this one up here with the hat and some snowflakes. And then there's a bird. And then this one that says winter days. Yep. Okay, we have these two things that are going to go over here. And then some snowflakes. So that's basically the design and layout. And look how quickly that came together. So I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and mat all the pictures with some white cardstock. I'm going to do a very thin border. So I'll probably use my 𝗬𝗵_𝗍𝗶𝗄𝗏𝑟's layering guides. So I need to go find those because that's the easiest way to do a border that's, or a mat that's small. So I'll go ahead and do that and glue everything down except for the embellishments. I'll do all the background stuff and then I'll come back and we'll pick up from there. Okay, so I've been gone for about an hour. For you guys, it was probably like a split second. But I made some progress on this double page spread and I was able to mat all of the photos using some white cardstock. And then I glued down all of the major parts of the layout. So all of these banner strips, the photos, and then also some of the larger elements that are going to go on this page. I think that's not glued down yet. And then I did add some washi tape. I took this washi tape here and it added a bit down here at the bottom. And then I repeated that up here at the top. And I really think that's cute. It does bring a little bit more black into the layout. There's a little bit of black, but not much. And so I thought that was really a good element to bring in for this layout. And then I wanted to go ahead and show you guys how I matted the photos. I haven't done this in a video in a while, so if you're a new viewer, you might not have seen me use this tool. But these are the 𝗬𝗵_𝗍𝗶𝗄𝗏𝑟's layering guides. And you use these layering guides to mat photos or mat, you can mat anything really, just anything you want to put a mat around. And you use an X-Acto knife or blade. This is from 𝗬𝗏𝗂𝗧. And I like this one because it's much easier to hold. I think you're supposed to hold it like this, but I just hold it like that. But it's really easy to use because it's short and I have really good control instead of using one of those longer X-Acto knives. So let me go ahead and move this out of the way and I'm going to show y'all how to mat a photo. Now this was the photo I had left over. Okay. So I have a cutting board here, the white cardstock, and then I have this photo which I had left over and I'm going to use it on another layout. So I figured I might as well go ahead and add on a mat to that photo. You can put it anywhere on the page. It could be Cricut. I'm just going to put Cricut just so you can see how this works. So you don't have to line it up. It doesn't have to be perfect. And what you're going to do is take the layering guides and you want to find the measurement that you want to use for your mat. Now I had originally thought about using a 1/8 inch. And so this is the 1/8 inch here. And you can see that there's a measurement on each ruler. There's two, one on each side. So if I wanted to use the 1/8 inch, I would use this side. If I wanted to use the 3/8 inch, I would use this side. And then on the opposite side, we have 1/4 inch and then 5/8 inch. And then on this ruler, there is the, let's see, 5/16 on this side, and then 1/16. And then over here we have a 1/2 inch, and then 3/16 on this side. And then this last layering guide, because these are bigger mats, it only has two measurements. It has either 3/4 inch on this side, or you can do a 1 inch on that side. Okay, so the way that these work is that you put the edge or the lip of the guide against your photo, and it's supposed to catch it. Sometimes, you know, you can struggle a little bit with it being able to catch onto the photo. On my mats, I used a 1/16 inch because I knew that I wasn't going to have a lot of extra space because my photos were 3x4s, 4x4s, 4x6, and that was what the layout was calling for. I could have actually made my picture smaller and cut some of the picture off, but I just decided I would go ahead and use a 1/16 inch. 1/16 inch is really small, and I think I'm gonna, for this photo, I'm gonna use a 1/8 inch. So we'll take our 1/8 inch layering guide here, and what you're gonna wanna do is you're just gonna wanna push it against the photo until you feel it catch all the way down. And I have tips on that other video where I shared how you can, you know, do different things to try to get it to catch. But as long as it's catching on the photo, you're good. Now, If you can't get it to catch on the photo, you can lift the photo up a couple of times to try to make it so it's not as flat. And then one of the other things you want to try to do before you lift the guide up is to make sure that it cut all the way through. Now, I did change the blade on here because I was struggling a little bit where it wasn't cutting evenly because my blade was really old. So if you're having trouble with cutting using the layering guides, it could be because your blade is dull. So you want to change your blades quite a bit. You don't want to use them too much to where it makes it really difficult for you to get your cuts straight, because then you're going to waste paper because you're going to mess your paper up. So what I did here, if it's not catching the edge, is you can just lift up on your photo a little bit. And I also used adhesive just in the middle of the photo so that I could lift the edges up. So you're just going to want to push it on the edge, and then you're going to cut. And you can see that it makes a perfect border of 1/8 inch all the way around the picture. The other thing you can do is if you can't get it to catch on the picture, you can actually visually look at the guide. It's a little bit difficult to see it because it's just kind of looking through that blue plastic. Okay, and for some reason it doesn't want to catch on this picture. It's so frustrating when it does that sometimes. Somebody had shared a tip on one of their videos, and I thought that's a really good idea, and then I can't remember what it was that they did. But I'll have to maybe try to see if I can go back and find that video, because they had an interesting tip on there that really works well. I just, for the life of me, can't remember what it was. But I think the most challenging thing sometimes is trying to make it catch on. I think this mat might be a little bit warped. This is not the mat that I usually use when I'm using these We Are Memory Keepers layering guides, but my room is a mess. My craft room's a mess. I wasn't able to find my other cutting mat. So if your cutting mat is warped at all, then you could have problems as well, because it's not going to catch on the picture if the cutting mat is warped. So that's something else to look at. If your table is warped. I remember one time I went to my friend Judy's house, and she has some fold-up tables that are plastic. And one of the things I found when I was at her house was I couldn't use these We Are Memory Keepers layering guides on her table because her table kind of had a dip in it, and it made it really a challenge. Okay, so you can see here that I matted this picture, and it's perfectly straight and even. That's one of the things I love about using these guides. You could do this just by cutting the paper, and trying to line it up, but one of the advantages of using the layering guides is that you attach the picture to the cardstock and then cut around it, so you're going to be guaranteed the same matting all the way around the picture, which is something really hard to do. Even if you can measure and cut with your paper trimmer, a lot of times, this side will be slightly smaller than the other side. And so I really like using these layering guides, especially when you're doing really small mats, like a 1/8 inch or 1/16 of an inch. I can't do a 1/16 of an inch using my paper trimmer. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you. And I'll put a link in the description below to the video where you can find the tips for using these We Are Memory Keepers layering guide tools. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put this back on so I don't cut myself. And I'll save that picture for another layout. Okay, I'm going to pull this back over here, and I wanted to show you guys something. You'll notice that as I'm moving this around, it's staying together. And one of the things that I started doing recently when I do a 2-page spread is that I will take my paper and attach it together using just regular Scotch tape, or in this case I use washi tape. And then once I finish the layout and when I want to put it into my scrapbook album, you can just either take the tape off or you can just use your scissors and cut through that. And this way you have these two papers together so that you can line everything up without it moving around too much. And I've seen other people like attach the paper to the table or to other things, but I like to be able to move it around, so I just usually tape together the two papers, and that way I can make sure to line everything up and it looks like it goes across really nicely. So that is the base for my layout. Now I did do a little bit of work on the embellishments as well. I did trim off a lot of the little paper nubs that were on there from when I punched the different pieces out. And then I also put foam tape on my title. So my title is going to be Hello Snow. And then I have this little sweater. So we're going to put that there. Now this is exactly how it is, pretty much the same as what it is in the guide that we have here. You can see the picture. I'm pretty close to, you know, now to what it was. But I'm going to add some different things. And that's one of the things that's really nice about the page kit, is you don't have to follow it exactly. You can add more or take away things. One of the things I found was over here, there's really nothing over here. And so I thought I'm going to put something here above the picture, and I found this little bear. So I'm just going to put the little bear right here, kind of on top of that picture right there. And then these little mittens were over, I think they're over here somewhere, but I decided to put them over here. I'm going to put the mittens over there. And instead of putting the mittens here, I'm going to use a flare button. And I think I'm going to use this little snowman. Isn't that cute? I love this flare button. It's adorable. See if I can bring it up so y'all can see it. Isn't that super cute? And this is one of the new buttons that I have that I just added for December in my button shop. So we have the sweater, we have the little snowman. Okay, and then up here they had two little round chipboard pieces. I did add some foam tape on these. I wanted to, instead of just doing two, I don't know why, I don't like doing two of anything. I think two or an even number doesn't look as good as having three or one or five. So I decided that I would add a flare button up here. And I think I'll put the Christmas ornaments up there. And I'll show you this one up close as well. This is little Christmas ornaments. See if I can get my hand up there so you can see it in focus. The camera's not focusing. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think I'll just try to put a picture of the flare buttons on the screen here because I'm having a hard time trying to show that to you on the camera. It's like my camera's not wanting to focus. Okay, so up here on above this picture we have this sweater weather, which is going to go here like that, and then they had the little hat, and we can put that, I think it was kind of like that. And so that's going to be what's on this side. And then over here I'd had this place right here, which is the journaling strip. We have the snowman, the tree. I already have that attached. And then I thought I should put the presents under the tree. So I have this little flare button that has Christmas presents, and I thought I would put that there. And as I'm putting that there, I realized that it's going to overlap the chipboard. So I think I'm going to put the washi tape. I'm going to just take part of it off and just attach it to the side that's not going to overlap the snowman. It's still enough to attach it to the layout, and it's going to give me this extra space here so that when I put it next to the snowman or on top of the snowman, it's going to sit flat. All right, so we got that. And then the Merry Christmas. I don't know if I want to use this one or not. I don't know if I have any place to put this one. I could put it there, so we could put Merry Christmas there. And then this gives us kind of a triangle around the picture here. And all three of these elements are kind of light. They're white. So I think that's really cool because it draws your eye in toward that picture. And I think that's cute. I think what I'll do is glue this down. I'll come back and then we'll add a few more things. I want to add some of the snowflakes because they had those on there. And instead of adding enamel dots, I'll just add snowflakes, I think. And then I wanted to put one of these bows on my layout because I just think this is really girly and feminine with their little sweaters with the fur collar. And so I thought it would be cute to put a bow. So maybe something like that. I don't know what color would work. Would I rather this one? I don't know if that one would work. I think that's really cute, the gray one, but I'm not sure. We want to put it there. I could put it over here. I kind of think I liked it over here. I think I'll do the gray. I think that's really cute. It's got the gingham and it matches this gray of the label right here. So I really love this color right here, but it matches the snowman. I think it blends in too much. And I don't think this one really goes with the layout. So we're just gonna go ahead and use that gingham bow that's gray. There's not a lot of gray in this layout. I guess there's gray over here in the letters. So I think that goes okay. That's cute. Yeah, it makes the layout a little bit more feminine. And I like that. And I did find these little word strips. That was the other thing I was thinking about using. This was part of the ephemera from the Feelin Frosty, that extra ephemera kit that I had. And it has all of these little word quotes. And I thought it might be cute to put something above right here. I put snow day. I like that black because it kind of pulls that black over to that side of the layout a little bit more. I just wish I liked the saying a little bit more. Then we have this so much fun. Warm wishes, let it so stay warm. It's not really a lot of space there. Let's see if I can move this up a little bit. I just think that that kind of fills in that space a little bit. But I'm wondering if 2 is too many. I think I'll just do the 1. I think I'll just move this down a little bit. We'll put the so much fun there. And then we have our sweater. Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, so you can add in additional things to the layout if you want to embellish more. I like to put a lot of embellishments on my layouts, and I like to have a lot of dimension. And so, yeah, I might go overboard, but that's okay. As long as you love your layout, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. So just do what you think looks good, and it's your scrapbook, so you should be happy with whatever you do, and that's the most important thing. Okay, so let me go ahead and glue all this stuff down, and then I'll be right back, and we'll add a few snowflakes and yeah, see how the finished layout comes out. Okay, so I have this layout pretty much done. I'm just going to add in some snowflakes, and isn't this super cute? I just love the way it turned out, and that I was able to use so many pictures on this double page spread. One of the things I was thinking about as I was creating this layout and putting this together was that now that I have this done, I can actually reuse this and copy it and do it again. So I think that's pretty cool that there's a page kit. It's kind of like getting 2 in 1. I got a page kit plus I got a sketch to use that I can reuse to create other layouts. So I could take these same dimensions in the same pictures and be able to do this same spread. So I think that's pretty cool. I like the way it turned out. I like that I was able to use so many pictures. And so here are a bunch of the different little things that we have. So it looks like they had, I don't know that I'll follow what's in the picture. I might just scatter it how I like. So it looks like they had, oh, they had a bird here, which I've left that one off, but that's okay. I don't initially have to use the bird. And then they had a couple of hearts. So in addition to using the snowflakes, we could put some of the hearts on there as well. And they gave us a lot to use on here. So, okay, so I have a green heart. There's also a pink. Maybe I'll put the hearts up here. And then, or maybe I'll put a snowflake there. I like the snowflakes better than the hearts, I think. I'll do a snowflake, a couple of snowflakes up here, and then maybe a few down here. And I probably don't want to use too many because this layout's getting pretty busy as it is. But I'll just scatter a few of these around. Okay. There's not enough space really to put anything else up there. Maybe I'll just put one there. What other colors? It looks like there's green. There's not really, oh, here's a pink one. Okay, put the pink one over there. I think that's good. And then I think I'll just do those two up here. Or should I do a third one there? I could do a third smaller one. Okay, so that's good. I'm just going to glue these down. And I think I'll use some liquid glue here. I also like adding this little bit right here. I think it fills in some of the space there, and it's hello snow, snow much fun. I think that's adorable. Okay, so let me just go ahead and use some liquid glue on here to glue these snowflakes on. And then as I'm doing this, I just wanted to remind everybody to be sure and go and watch everyone else's videos that is participating in this YouTube hop. And you can see how other people have used their Simple Stories collections to create projects. And I can't wait to watch everybody's videos that is participating in this YouTube hop. So we'll put one here. I'll put one there. And I'm not going to spend too much time trying to figure out where these should go. Sometimes I find that I move things around and around and around, and then later it ends up right back where I started. So I'm trying not to spend too much time moving stuff around, because I spend 15-20 minutes and I move things around, and then they end up right back where I put them originally. So I'm going to go with my gut and just put them down where I stuck them, and that'll be done. So wasn't that easy? I just went ahead and just did it. Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty much all I have for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed seeing my scrapbook process video and how I use this page kit from Simple Stories to create this double page spread. I would have never had been able to do this on my own in the amount of time that I actually spent doing this. I think it took me a couple of hours, but it probably would have taken me days to create this if I would have done it from scratch, because I would have had to figure out everything, and it would have been way more work. I'm a really slow scrapbooker, so if you're quick and you do things really fast, then this would probably be a piece of cake for y'all. And if you're a new scrapbooker and you're just getting started, I think these page kits are super awesome, and I think it's a good way for someone to see and to figure out if there's something they really enjoy before they invest money into scrapbooking. Because I think a lot of people want to know, what do I need to buy in order to do scrapbooking? And you can spend a lot of money, but you don't really need to. Like you saw here, I didn't really use any tools other than glue, scissors, and I did use these 𝗬𝗵PHis layering guides, but you don't necessarily have to do that because I put extra mats in there. If you were following this page kit exactly, you wouldn't even have to create the photo mats. I just like having the white to make the pictures pop off from the background, and so that's why I did that. But yeah, you could just use this with very few tools, and I think it's a lot of fun. So if you have someone that's interested in scrapbooking, but they don't have the tools to do it, buying one of these page kits would be a really awesome way to see if that's something that they would enjoy doing. And then the more you do it, if you really enjoy it, then you can invest in things like a paper trimmer, dies, stamps, mixed media, like all the extra stuff that we throw in there at times. Okay, well, that's all I have for you guys. I hope y'all have an awesome weekend, and I hope to see you next time. Bye now.